33% for PVZ.
Hey man, if I have a 33% win rate against Sen, I would not be upset.
Yeah.
I would not be upset. That means 2 days out of every week I'll be able to beat Sen in StarCraft 2. Success, kid.
If you only play one game
A day, right? Yeah.
one game a day.
Yeah.
Against Sen.
Did you ever have a 33% win rate against Sen in practice?
Did
you, or how often did you get to practice it with Sen?
I didn't get to practice with Sen a lot. We talked a lot, but we didn't get to practice a lot because there were a lot of ping issues. Especially back then.
StarCraft
I
2.
felt like, StarCraft 2 in the beginning of Wings of Liberty, I felt like the servers were a lot worse.
Yeah, Blizzard definitely worked on that a lot, but now ping issues are still kind of prevalent, but regardless, I think these guys are still having a pretty good ability to micro in the situation. Sen was just doing awesome work in game number 1. Let's introduce our players. Andre, starting in the bottom left, we have from Team Fnatic Raid Call, it is Nightend. Nightend, who did go to DreamHack this past weekend. Guys, keep in mind this match is from a couple weeks ago, week 3. And so this match is a remade game up. I think that's what it is, right?
You just went all Gretorp on me. I have no clue what you just said.
In the top right, we have from Team Gamma Bears, it is Sen. Sen is one of the most popular players that's outside of Korea. In fact, he's the most popular guy from Taiwan.
He's pretty much
he's
the
insanely popular.
I think he's actually more popular than a lot of. Okay, let me actually take that back. I think his fan base is actually a lot more fanatical than most Korean fans.
Really?
And
have you met like his fans in Taiwan?
Well, I see his Facebook, and he tells me stories, and I see just his popularity and how as soon as he does something, like he's literally a superstar in Taiwan. It's crazy.
People love him, man. And like maybe he doesn't have like thousands of fans, like to email his his sponsors or anything, but Sen also does have very, very, very passionate Chinese-speaking fans that love watching him. In fact, we always tell this story, Andre, but it's Andre was doing top 10 last season where he was like, this one video seemed to have a lot of good views, and we pulled the demographics and we realized 80% of the views was from Taiwan because Sen was the #1 play.
It was crazy.
And we're like, oh.
Regularly I get like 1,000, 2,000. All of a sudden I get like 10,000 in a day, and I'm like, wow, what the heck? I've been doing a great job, Frodan.
Really starting to turn it around.
Yeah,
I'm improving,
bad, man. And then all of a sudden I see, okay, let's check out the demographics. Everything's completely white, like the whole board. It's like, all of a sudden I see this little tiny country in Southeast Asia. I'm like, what is that? That's Taiwan.
It's like dark green.
All right. Yeah, no, it was like just beet green, forest green. That's how green it was. I was like, oh.
That's right. Sen is super popular. Sen, big time macro player. Still has to get over that hump of how he faces off against Koreans. Sen placed okay at WCS Asia. He didn't place in the top 8, which guarantees you to go to the World Finals, but he did win Taiwan, which means he will go anyways. Sen placed, I believe, 9th to 12th, which is the highest a non-Korean placed. Right.
He lost to Creator.
Oh, well, that's nothing to be ashamed of at all.
Yeah, that newbie.
No, Creator's so
I'm
good,
just
man.
Kidding. But do you know what happened in that game? He actually did a Hydra build.
He did Sen. Did he do a slow Hydra, slow Ling build?
No, he went defensive Hydras against Immortal Push.
Oh.
And he should have won. If only he... I was actually watching it, and I was talking to him about it afterwards. I said, Sen, you should have won that game. I said, you are such a noob. If only you... that's how we talk to each other. I said, if only you actually extended your creep 1 creep tumor further, you would have won the game. He goes, I know, I'm so chovo. I don't know what happened. He was like, I thought I had the game won, and then all of a sudden, I walked my Hydras off creep, and worst. I was like, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Well, Sen actually has no excuses in this game. He sees the Robo and the Twilight Council, inevitably going to start +2 and Blink synonymously. You can see that Nightend also, I guess he's just really trying to pump out the amount of centuries he's got early on. Now, I want to say Cloud Kingdom is a good map for kind of Blink Immortal pushes, I guess, if you want to go for it. But at the same time, Stalker Immortal pushes, but I also think Blink's a very underrated build PvZ on this map. Genius did it very well in the finals of GSL Season 1 against DRG, and that was a really cool like mind game because a lot of DRG expected Immortals, but he just got a huge pack of Stalkers instead. Although Nightend's also adding in more Immortals, is he just going to expand?
I'm not sure. Wait.
Yeah, I think he is.
You're like
there
2 minutes past me.
JK.
So I'm really looking forward to see what Nightend does in this game. Let's look at what Sen has been doing. He actually went 3 extractors at 6 minutes and 45 seconds, which tells me he's actually going to go for some really, really early 200-200 timing. Normally when you hold off on your extractors this late, you actually are able to get your third base, or not your third base, your 4th hatchery really, really soon. Get your macro hatchery out and you're good to go. But in this position, he actually traded the macro hatchery for 3 more geysers. It's actually really interesting because this now tells me that he's going to go very Infestor style or even Spire style. Actually makes me think he's going to go Spire. Let's find
from
out.
Sen.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. He's preparing the drone for something.
Hydra! Oh! Of course. Whoa. God.
You couldn't have scripted that any better, Andre, because it was like, man, I said Sen could have won with this Hydra build, and then he goes Hydras. Very, very funny. Sen, of course, he doesn't even necessarily play by the rules. Remember last season when he went slow Hydra build, so anything is possible with this guy. But you know what? Sen's going to make it work. I have confidence. He's making, do you see how many Hydras he's making, Andre?
15, 16.
He's going mainly Hydras. It's not Roach Hydra, it's Hydra Roach. Because he's mainly composing of Hydras.
Yeah.
16 Hydras, 5 Roaches.
And let me tell you, he does this so well. Like, just defensive Hydras are so powerful. We've seen that with Bly's play. My God, we've seen that with Bly's play.
Bly did play second at DreamHack Bucharest.
Second at DreamHack. Acer just destroying everything at DreamHack Bucharest. Really, really awesome to see that. Look at this. Sen actually taking the bottom right-hand expansion. This is something we do not see from him at all. So even Sen is pulling out the stops here in game number 2. Now he's pushing out with Roach Hydra. Frodan, I have no clue how this is going to work, but now Zerglings and Hydras.
This is aggressive Hydras. This is, okay. I'm just gonna watch. I'm going to watch and enjoy.
Let me tell you, Hydras have a really nice purpose against this particular push in that they kill the sentries. They kill the sentries really, really well.
They do, but Nightend, he's in a kind of an awkward position to deal with this. Nightend, does he even know this is coming whatsoever? No, and what's so crazy is that Sen kind of has a weird rally point. From the bottom right, he can kind of like push some units. He's also expanding to the top left. Let's see how Sen's able to do. One small sliver is going to allow some Hydras to be able to engage. But look at how much DPS is in this army because there's no real AoE to control. You do have force fields. Stalkers do have blink, but Nightend is doing a good job disengaging for now, buying more time for Warpins.
That's right. But oh man, this is going to be tough. And he's like doing preventative force fields so that the units don't get closer, but he still has no way to actually engage against these Hydras other than section them off. But as you can see...
Oh, the Zergling flank, Andre from the north.
Man.
He's going to be able to get a complete surround, although he does back off temporarily, I guess because he didn't want more force field to prevent the Zerglings from leaving. Does manage to come in. The Zergling Hydra attack. And Sen, of course, has a Spire prepared also.
Oh, please tell me we see a Muta transit. That would be the sickest thing in the world.
He's got so much gas because he's been able to get it to the bottom right corner as well. Oh, Sen, he is able to play so well right now. And the Nightend, he does have +3 coming up, and he will stabilize.
That blink, I wouldn't do that blink against Hydras. I mean, that's so scary. That blink is okay because the number count is significantly lower, but before it's like you're losing so many Stalkers. Off of this, you can see just mass expansion from Sen. And yes, oh my God, a 17 Muta transition. Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sen at his best, man. He basically says, just like Stefano, I do whatever I want, and it works. And right now, we still don't have 5th and 6th gases. This is going to limit Nightend quite considerably. And Zergling Mutas absolutely thrash only Stalker armies. Like,
yeah,
this
with
is
Immortals,
so
it's not
awesome.
really going to be doing anything. Sen going, I guess he's donating a couple Hydras, but at the same time, the Mutas are now gathering all up in the top left and getting ready to go for some good aggression. And of course, based off the position of Nightend's army, it's just going to force him to decide if he wants to base trade or not. Muta's kind of dodge the Stalkers. Nightend not paying attention for 1 second. He's going to expect a 4th base, but he's like, whoa, no 4th base. It's like, wait, Muta's in my natural. What is going on? Nightend, what are you going to do? Are you going to press forward?
And the base trade isn't in Nightend's favor. He doesn't really have a great way of dealing with all of this.
Sen's got spawn crawlers going up too.
Oh man, and additional gateways are going down as well. He's going to try to clear up the 3rd base, but where are those spine crawlers going down? Right over here. He can actually spine crawler the main up, and this whole time he can also get additional mutas to make his army just that much more unstoppable.
Ooh, and Sen also has sniped the cybernetics core, so no more stalkers.
Wow.
Sen
Smart.
is able to be able to do that. The spine crawlers do finish just in time, and they're able to work out something. Zerglings and, drones are all making a mass exodus to the bottom right. Nightend not paying attention to his stalkers, runs into the Muta pack, has to kind of blink away, although Sen's rally reinforcements getting picked off as well. The natural has kind of been cleaned up, but Sen is also pressuring so much that Nightend's also withdrawing from the natural, although he's sending his mortals as well. Sen preparing this kind of base trade scenario by putting his expansions in the corner of the map. That is very smart. It's going to make it very hard for Nightend to do anything. Oh, he's recalling all the stalkers, Andre.
I don't know how Nightend's going to do it. He has warped in a ton of stalkers, but he needs to actually group all of these up. He's going over to the cannon, but it's just not enough. The stalkers do get their offensive blink, and this might be good. Nightend doesn't kill enough mutas, though, or mutas, and that's not looking good for him. It's really unfortunate. Now these immortals will be cleared up, and you know what? Nightend can't let the dust settle. He needs to actually be on top of this. He needs to go through with the base trade because there's so much damage that's been done to him. And I don't know. No, he doesn't know about
in shambles.
Oh man. So wait a minute. Nightend might have a false sense of security. He doesn't know about the top left and bottom right.
No, yeah, he thinks
bases.
Zerg might be on 1 base.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you 3-based all in me, and then.
Oh
my God.
Nightend doesn't know he's going to move in this arc. He's like, yes, the last form of defense. And then he realizes, wait, there's a bottom right base. And then Sen actually has a bunch of mutas that are going to pop out here as well. Sen also warwing into the main. He's going to start working on some of the production line again. Protoss really can't afford to lose too much economy, although Sen is losing several drones in the bottom right. And of course, his main is very vulnerable as well. He's making a lot of spine calls around that spire. Sen killing off the Nexus at the natural. He still has the top left. Zerglings popping out the bottom right, cleaning up the Zealots. Lots of action, but a massive blink into the natural. Sen does kill off the Nexus and escapes out of there. Stalkers blinking into the main, trying to work onto the spine crawler count. This is madness, Andre, but I think the drones are going to be able to buy enough time for the Stalkers. Or not. The mutas are also coming back to the main because they need to defend the tech.
That's right. And look at this. Through all of this, somehow Sen is trying to get out 2-2. And to me, that's absolutely crazy. It looks like spine crawlers in the bottom right-hand corner. Sen is pretty starved in this position, and Nightend somehow is still mining income tablets. Check it out right now, 19 to 22. Are you kidding me?
This is such a low
But there's a lot
game.
of mutas. 26 mutas against 26 stalkers.
Oh, the stalkers blink back, and you have to prevent the stalkers from clumping up against mutas. He's losing stalkers. He can't afford to do that. Nightend, you have such a low amount of stalkers, but he's blinking in from the bottom half. Does Sen have enough? Nightend is also splitting up his army.
Beautiful. Beautifully
Sen doing
done.
a hit and run tactic.
Yeah, and that is absolutely perfect, Frodan. It looks like the bottom right will actually live. And from here, he's actually getting additional mutas. Not only that, as soon as 2-2 finishes for his ground army, he's going to be able to incorporate Zerglings now. And these Zerglings will actually tank a ton of damage. Since these mutas have cleared up everything but basically Stalkers, that's really advantageous because Zergling Muta against Stalker is beautiful.
This is so painful, Andre. He's losing so many probes. He's down to 7 probes. Another blink. Sen is able to trade out his mutas for some of the economy, preventing Protoss from being able to make any more units, really. A few more mutas are on the way. More Zealots going to the bottom right, but Sen also has a few mutas popping out to guard it as well. This has become a game of centimeters, Andre, because both of these players trying to be as cost efficient as possible.
Excuse me, Frodan, we're in the US. It's a game of inches, not centimeters. And yes, it is. Because Sen is pretty much starved. I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of mining. His main is going to mine out even. And throughout this whole time, he has to worry about stalkers going around and just ravaging his bases. That's a big fear at any point. If he doesn't have all eyes on the map, you know, just a couple of zealots can move in and wreck a lot of drones, and that could be 25% of your economy.
Sen, be careful! Yo, he's gonna lose a couple of meters. Nightend with a great trap and bait. And Nightend, does he have enough to really punish this expansion? Nightend might think, oh no, he knows about the top left expansion as well. He scouted with his observer, so he knows this is not the last of everything he gets. He's going to try to go for some Zergling traps as well, but the Stalkers blink away. Blink Stalkers can be so efficient. The Mutas are coming in for another attack. Does Sen have enough to hold? The Zerglings are buying such valuable time. Stalkers are not focusing what's important. They're focusing on the Stalkers, and the +3, sure, it's great, but is it enough? The Stalkers are blinking. It's coming down to the last Muta. 40 supply against 35.
God.
Sen, I think he may have done it. There's not enough Stalkers. No gas from Protoss. 2 Stalkers are warped in, but more Zerglings are popping. 12 drones to 16, but it doesn't matter. The gas economy is it.
That's it, Frodan. There's nothing to deal with this air. The Stalkers are running for their lives, but really, Sen is doing it so smart at just tracking those Stalkers, making sure he has no anti-air, and that's going to be it. Sen playing a nail-biting series yet again.
Nightend trying to buy last time, but the Stalker was not able to fire once.
And he has no gas.
Free reign. GG, well played. Sen takes game number 2.
Oh my God.
Number 2. And a thrilling way to end the series.
Oh my God.
And 16,000 points have been secured in the name of Sen. Very, very well done. Nightend, man, looked like he was going to pull it out. Nightend, man, with crushing defeats today. So close every single time.
I am so sorry.
And Nightend falling just a little bit short.
But congratulations to Sen. Pulled out the Hydra into Muta build, something that we don't ever see ever. Yeah. Ever.
It's really cool. I'm really glad Sen was able to do it. I like that he took the thorough preparation, expanded the corners, even setting up the spine crawlers and everything, prepared the gas. Really cool build from Sen.
Definitely so.
Something I'm going to try later on.
Definitely so. But don't worry, guys. We actually have another Sen matchup right after this. It's Sen versus TT1. I'm looking forward to this. The last match was brought to you by iBuyPower, of course, the system company that powers the NASL studio. We'll be back, Sen versus TT1, after this.